triple shot and the double and triple shot are associated with your current sub weapon.
Gotcha.
But if you don't know what they are, in case you're just joining in for, God, look at those sprites. Double and triple shot allows you to throw more than one sub weapon, because without them, you're limited to one sub weapon on the screen, and you can't do anything until it exits the screen.
It's better than Clockwork Knight.
It's better than yeah. Well, how did that handle it again?
The Keyblade.
Like, oh, that's yeah. I was just talking about like all the power ups. You don't get power ups in a.
There's an invincibility. I think that's really it though. The invincibility and like the gears for your health. That's pretty much it. Nothing really power up. You just kind of play the game, which has its own merits, I suppose. But
yeah, it's pretty lame.
It is pretty lame. It's pretty lame. Don't worry, I know. Like I said, when I said at the end of that Let's Play is that's a game I revisit, and again, that's just for nostalgia's sake. Usually every like 2 to 3 years. A game like Astall, for instance, I usually hit that game at once a year at least, just because I like the way it plays.
I still like the way Astall looks, though, to be honest.
Oh, it's a fantastic looking platforming game.
Yeah.
And the main character does enough, and there's enough ways to take out enemies that it keeps the game fresh. Like you can blow things out, you can wrestle them down, you can throw them, you can double axe handle them. There's a lot of ways to play, or you can ground pound. Like he has a lot of moves.
Yeah,
so
he's versatile.
Yeah, you don't really need like a whole. I didn't think you ever needed a whole lot with him to be useful. You know what I mean? Or to be different. Oh, broken down walls. Okay.
Yeah, this is normally where I get my double or triple shot. Cause look at all the candles. Look at all the sprite glitching too.
Holy sprite glitch, Batman!
Look at that. There's like explosion graphics somewhere in there.
Very professional.
And yeah, just in case you guys didn't hear it the first time, the reason why I'm okay with this, because just to see how far we can go with this. This may or may not make some bosses harder, depending on what sprites flicker, but it's also like interesting.
You want a challenge, John?
Yeah, like I want a self-imposed challenge. Oh, the fuck me run.
This is the classic. This is the original Super Nintendo that you grew up with.
Yeah.
That's just what are these molten lava men?
They're like mudmen. They break up into smaller versions of themselves when you break them apart. Nothing too interesting, though. The only thing they really serve is to lag the game to shit.
I see that.
All right, I don't want to break any.
Is that fire down there?
Those are spikes. Okay. I think those are instant kill, as per Castlevania tradition.
I see.
Well, starting with the Metroidvanias, they don't instant kill you. They just really fucking hurt. Ow.
That hurt too.
Yeah, those hurt too. Take your time. Sometimes it really pays off, especially in Classicvania, to observe your surroundings. Take it easy. And with Simon, you can do that just by, the Belmont strut, as he's usually associated with here. Yeah, look at that. That's not a walk. That's a strut.
That is definitely a strut.
But you can also do some sort of duck walk.
Oh, there you go.
It's slower. But then they usually want you to use it for, like, avoiding low ceilings and other shit. Spiked ceilings.
Is that bone thing even attacking you?
It does attack, but it's nowhere near as aggressive as it was in Castlevania 1 and 3.
So
Thank God.
So most of the enemies from the previous games return?
Yes.
Or
there's some variation of it.
Prequel games?
The pre-sequel.
Pre-sequel games? Okay.
Yeah, fuck you, Borderlands. Thought you were original with that shit. Super Castlevania 4's got you beat, buddy. Another thing, though, is like, this is also like one of the only Castlevania games where Simon has a multi-directional whip. You go with left, right, up, straight, down, diagonally.
Whip it good.
This is the only time in the Classicvania series, not counting, I guess, let me see. John Morris in Portrait of Ruin can whip diagonally, I think, but that's even after he gets an upgrade.
Portrait of Ruin? That
Yeah.
sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's a DS Metroidvania game.
Ooh.
And sequel to Bloodlines, if you're in
DS
case
so original DS,
It's a
not 3DS.
original DS, yeah, but you can play it on 3DS too. So, yeah, I recommend that one. Yeah, because every other Belmont or anyone else that holds on to the Vampire Killer, that's the name of the whip, by the way, the Vampire Killer, they can only whip straight like that.
To the point, I see.
Yeah, straight to the point. It doesn't need to be anything. It doesn't need to be fancy.
He's like jacking himself off down there.
Yeah. It's like, oh, Vampire Killer!
I'm the man!
Yeah. Who's the man, Spartak? Say it again!
I'm Spartak!
Oh, anyway.
God, that's fucking hilarious.
He can whip in multiple directions, and that, this game still holds on to a lot of typical, Castlevania conventions with level design. It sort of breaks the game in some sense in terms of, like, enemies, because enemies are kind of still designed with Belmont having a single, one-directional whips attack, but that's not the case in this game. If there was, like, an Axe Knight right above me from here, I couldn't get him in the old games because I would have to, like, jump up here and then finally attack him like that.
Was that a limit?
But in Super Castlevania 4, I can approach from the bottom and just, like, whip him right here.
Was that a whip it good?
Yeah.
Where's his red hat? He needs.
Yeah, no, he's not part of Devo.
We'll have to tell Elliot to put in.
With-
Put in the red hat. This is for like one of the.
Take some concept art, Simon. Spartak, I'm sorry.
Spartak.
And then, yeah, just give him a little Devo hat.
Just imagining
You know,
it
some
now.
people are like rolling their eyes, like, "Oh, a Devo joke. I haven't heard that before." in Castlevania. It's like, fuck off, okay? It's like, shut up. I'm not trying to appease you.
No, we're laughing ourselves here. We're very professional. Come on.
Be careful here. Every time you see a little water drop, that means something's about to fall down. And I don't like this part. Fucking the little eye thing. I hate that shit. All right, this is another part of the stage. Actually, I'm going to be a little careful here because there's some instant.
Hearts.
There's plenty of wata down
He
there.
loves you.
Yeah.
How do I convince
Be my Valentine.
Damn it, be my Valentine.
Or else.
Oh, I need to shower off. Okay.
Yeah.
You know another game that has the glaive and a lot of people didn't like, but I actually really enjoyed? Dark Sector.
What is that?
For the Xbox 360. How to describe Dark Sector?
Well, that's not a good sign.
So it was one of those games I think that came out with a little bit of hype. I think it might have been a launch for the 360. I didn't get it. I didn't get the 360 at launch, but I did pick up that game because I found it for it was like $4.
Yeah, okay, there you go. That explains it.
And it was considerably after. I got my 360 considerably after the original 360 came out, and the reason I got it was because my brother played Halo a lot at the time, and I wanted to play with him, and we didn't have a whole lot of games that we liked that were in common. So we, I got a 360 and I bought Halo, but I was looking for at least something else to play when I wasn't playing with him and my friends in college, Halo. So I saw this game, Dark Sector, for like $4, and it was used whatever from GameStop. I'm like, oh, I mean, even if the game sucks, I mean, it's not like I'm lost anything.
Yeah.
So I pick up the game. And it certainly has its limits. I mean, graphically, it looks pretty good. I mean, it was early 360, but I mean, really stands out, I think, graphically. But it's just limited in the sense that, like, if you're using the glaive, you throw it, and it's like there's almost
Using the glaive?
the glaive, the glaive, what the glaive. What?
I love the glaive.
I love the glaive,
It was
guys.
$3.99 on Steam.
Now, calm down. We got the glaive. Everything's gonna be okay. But and you could use other weapons and guns and such. But you end up just using the glaive because it's enough to take everything out. And that's kind of the problem with the game is that you can just kind of take everything out by knocking people's heads off with the glaive.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. But anyway, the game, the storyline's a little weak. The game, maybe one day I'll do it for this channel. It's not a super long game, so.
Fucking hell, that happens sometimes. You just fall off the face of the earth.
Sean, that wasn't professional.
Yeah, that wasn't professional at all.
And your subscribers are very
Yeah.
professional.
It's like, oh, what the fuck?
What did I sign up for today?
Move this man!
That's okay. It happens. I mean,
Hey, what we're saying at the Glaven.
The glaive. The glaive, I like the glaive. No, but it was. Overall, though, I did enjoy the game. Like I said, the art style was pretty cool. It was pretty dark. But it was fun. I enjoyed the game. If you're looking for the best game ever, pick up Dark Sector. If you're looking for a good game for $3, pick up Dark Sector for Xbox 360. You'll enjoy it. But anyway, now that I'm done with my Dark Sector commercial. Yeah.
And then I played it. This is a piece of shit.
Most people. I feel like that's what most people say about a lot of the things I like to play, so that's okay.
Oh, you like Knights?
I do like Knights. Knights is a good game.
Knights is a good game.
Knights is a damn good game. I finally went through and picked up the Steam version with all the not the Steam version, basically the PS2 version for Steam.
Fuck. Fuck.
Spartak!
Spartak hates knockback.
Do you have a limit on your lives?
Yeah, there's a limit on my life. I got 4 lives though. No, actually, I think I got 5. I think 0 counts in this game. Fuck! No, I got 3.
Spartak!
Jesus Christ! I'm not even in the fucking castle yet.
No, we're not in the castle yet. Okay.
No, we're not in the castle. Yeah, like
We're just in the Vania. We haven't.
yeah, we're not in the castle yet. We're in the Vania, Transylvania.
This is already pretty good though. It's pretty funny.
Oh, I need another swig of my beer. I can't reach it here.
It's not your father's beer.
Drink me, milk.
Drink me, Mick. Cut me.
Come on, milk.
Yeah.
No, wait, we make a beer to a rocket. He was on a Brisk commercial.
That is right.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
again, those always give me something to drink.
You know what I did enjoy though? I actually went back and watched it on YouTube. Was the fight in Rocky 5. Nothing else about Rocky
between
5.
what the fuck?
I don't even know what hit you that time.
I didn't hit. I didn't hit at all. I let go of the damn chain prematurely.
Oh. All right, John. Let's get our. Can you get extra lives in this, or you just?
Yeah, there are some extra live locations somewhere. They're hitting walls though. So you gotta look for that shit.
You never needed that before.
Say what?
You never really needed that before.
No, not. I mean, there is a few locations where I like to abuse the hell and back because this game does give me shit in some boss fights.
Yeah.
And the actual life pretty much serves as unlimited continues.
Oh, it's one of those things.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Gotcha. Spartak!
Okay, let's actually try and finish the stage this time because this vertical climb is actually the last part of the stage.
Oh.
The boss is up there, but of course, the final part of the stage likes to throw bombless pits at you in like instant death scenarios. Like if I get hit here, the knockback's gonna send me back to the pit because this is one of those games where if you fall down, there's no floor down there anymore. Now it's suddenly a pit. And by the way, I killed that thing from that position because if you do, you're awarded with a lot of hearts, as you saw right there. If you decide to wait until like the second level where I'm at now and you kill the snake there, you don't get anything.
Like, how did it even hit you?
It did, barely. There you go. Fuck you. You see, in situations like this, you can plan with an upwards whip attack,
Which you couldn't do in the old game.
You couldn't do in the old games, no.
You just got hit by them and get pissed.
If I was playing in the old game, I would have to reliably use the sub weapon I'm using now, the axe, because that goes in an arc.
The arc of the axe.
Yeah, it's a pretty nifty weapon in other Castlevania games. Not this one. I prefer the cross over anything else. Here we go. Now we got the boss fight. I forgot which way he appears from here. I know when the game starts slowing down.
I know by the limitations of the system.
Yeah. Hey, you can use that to your advantage, man.
Oh yeah, why not?
It's like how in old fashioned.
That's actually a pretty good weapon for this boss.
Yeah, it's actually a decent. The cross works just as well. But like in the old PlayStation 1, Sega Saturn, I would even say either, and Dreamcast games, if you're playing like a horror game that relies on like spooking it with maybe jump scares or other shit, you can tell something's coming by listening to the CD-ROM reader.
True.
If you hear that shit moving, that means it's loading something.
Saturn was notorious for that.
Yeah.
Especially. You hear the disco.
Oh shit, something's coming.
Yep, something's
the
happening.
game's loading something.
Well, even when you play Sonic Jam, I know you pointed this out before, like Sonic Jam versus like the other collections, like the game runs great. I mean, it runs, I think, probably better than Genesis, but like I hate for the music, and the music's all exactly the same, but there's instead of it going right into because it's on a cartridge, like the next thing, like you're playing Hydrocity Zone, and then you see Knuckles, and they play the Knuckles theme, they go back to Hydrocity Zone. Yeah, and it's like seamless. In Jam, there's like a pause in between each time that they're loading the next
because
song.
the music's loaded on the CD.
Yes. Exactly.
Which to be fair, meant that the music was actually of higher quality in Sonic Jam because it was playing off the CD.
Oh, it sounds great.
In the Genesis, the music was sequenced off of the console. So it did lead to smoother transitions, yes. But every time there was another sound effect playing, which happened all the fucking time in Sonic, because you're running in loops and collecting rings, the music takes a hit.
Yeah.
But in Sonic Jam, you don't have to worry about that. You just got to worry with those awkward pauses and cuts.
Yeah,
because it's CD-based music.
And it wasn't like, it's not like it's pausing for 10 seconds while it loads.
No, it's like a split-second pause.
A split thing, and then you're like, okay, now we're playing the Knuckles theme. Cool.
Absolutely. It's funny how you just notice those things when you grow up with those generation of consoles.
And the Saturn was one of the first ones to do anything special outside of playing games. Like you could play CDs on the Saturn.
Well, you can do it on the PlayStation too.
Yeah, I didn't.
It's not so special anymore, isn't it?
Well, no, I said one of the first. You couldn't do that with Nintendo and stuff at the time.
Well, no, you wouldn't be able to do anything with it until like the GameCube.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, not even with the GameCube because it's
smaller disc.
Smaller disc. Like fuck your CDs. No one's playing those. Yeah, yes, they go. It's called the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, exactly. But it was kind of. I remember I used to watch wrestling a lot when I was a kid. I don't watch it anymore, so don't get too excited, kids.
I was gonna say, what do you think of Roman Reigns?
I don't know who the fuck.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who these people are, but okay.
These platforms are disappearing.
I remember they had it was the Aggression CD at WWF. It was WWF at the time. WWF Aggression. It was like they did remixes of a lot of the popular wrestlers' themes. The Rock, Triple H.
Yeah,
that's where Triple H had his Motorhead.
Yeah.
Intro.
Oh, rest in peace, Lemmy. By the way, he passed away a few days ago.
That's true. Well, now you guys know.
Well, at the time of this recording, yeah.
At the time of the recording, that's pretty unfortunate. I like Motorhead. Ace of Spades is not one of my favorite songs, but a song I very much enjoy to listen to when I'm in that mood. You know those moods you get into, you have to listen to certain songs.
Yeah.
When I'm in one of those real intense moods, I'll throw on Ace of Spades. It is the only card I need.
Anyway, the name of this boss is Puexel,
Pooh Axel?
which is backwards. It's backwards for licks you up. Can you tell why?
This is an interesting.
It's a pathetic mini boss though, because once you get him up there, you just stay down here, whip him up.
None of the bosses have seemed very intense.
The mini bosses are not very challenging in this game. It's the real bosses that give you a little more shit. But, you know, with proper positioning, they can be pretty easy. The only one I'm not really looking forward to later is the fight with the mummy. And where else? Oh, yeah,
What the hell is going on?
Gaibin. I don't fucking like. No, not Gaibin. Slogger. But that's actually near the end of the game though, so we don't have to worry about that. Anyway, yeah, Super Castlevania was a 1991 Super Nintendo game. I want to say, I don't think launch title, but definitely launch window. And you know, back then, Super Nintendo was all about one thing: Mode 7. If those who don't know, that means like it was a special little effect they could use to rotate sprites. And they couldn't really do it with sprites at the time, not until the Super FX chip with Star Fox and other shit. But they could do it with backgrounds and other things. So they want to show that off as much as they fucking can.
Oh, of course. Well, you get something new, you gotta play it.
Yeah, you gotta like rub that shit in their face.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, PlayStation 1, it was all about 3D, so every game had to be 3D. I think like Capcom had like the strictest policy on that too.
Yeah.
It was like not Capcom, Sony. It's like, look, this game is this console can run 3D graphics, all 3D games, no 2D shit.
That was interesting.
But then people actually made 2D games for the PlayStation. It's like, look at the kind of 2D sprites we can make on this shit. And you're saying no? What the fuck was that?
Well, that's what people always make, those kind of mistakes. I don't know. They got something new, and instead of, and I get you want to make better, and you should definitely have things that are new, but you know, don't forget the old stuff.
Yeah, because the old stuff still works.
Yeah, and usually works better because you have less limitations.
You know.
I can see where the sprite flickering can be a problem. You're not sure when you're jumping.
Well, no, this tunnel, this Mode 7 tunnel, sucks too, because even without the sprites flickering, it suffers from a lot of lag. And I hate lag because, you know, you never know when the frame rate's going to go back to normal. And you have to quickly judge your positioning on a split second's notice, especially when bottomless pits are involved. Like in the beginning of that tunnel sequence, I was sweating my ass off, thinking I was going to fall into a pit because I was doing it with lag.
Yeah, which makes sense. But
all right, I don't think I'm going to be able to get triple shot with cross at this point, so I'm just going to stick with the axe and get a triple shot for that instead, because the boss coming up, I think it's like the rock golem. Or like a rock man. Whatever it is. He's made of rock.
Mega Man.
Yeah.
Mega Man. Spartak! Yes. Well, we had the same idea there. Oh, man.
This is a bit of a puzzle. Not too much. But you want to keep going to the right, but looking for the right chamber. Obviously, the biggest source of death here is like instant kill.
Yeah,
like you can get crushed.
Gotcha. There's any weird things where, like, if you're like too close to the wall, it'll, like, could crush you, even though it shouldn't?
No, you're thinking.
Thumbnail.
You're thinking Mario World, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of games.
Man, I fucking hated the underground levels because of that shit. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time. It's like maybe 1 in 99 chance that it happens. But
sure, but that one time, you're like.
But it makes you sweat each time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There are a lot of games that did that to me.
Actually, I think there's a cross weapon right up there on that candle, but I'm not gonna get it.
Not gonna go for it.
Oh wait, no. This is a dead end.
Maybe we'll get it.
This corridor loops, by the way. So if you miss it, you know, the game's not over. It's not like you hit the ceiling. It's like, oh fuck, what do I do now?
Wait, what happened? How do I get back?
Yeah, exactly. The corridors will loop. So I think that's the beginning of the corridor. So I'm gonna head to the second section. What's in this candle right here? Oh, okay. Bullets. wait, stupid. It's a heart.
Yum, bullets.
You say bullet. I say heart.
I'm gonna say the eat green Tic Tacs.
Yeah. I haven't had a Tic Tac in years.
Yeah, it's been a while for me too. They're good. Don't get me wrong. Just
yeah,
not as effective.
Yeah, it was like not as effective with the Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
You mean Pokemon?
Yeah, I guess.
Not very effective.
No, I don't want to break that.
You don't want to break that?
No, I don't want to break that. Okay, good. Actually, I did the breakdown. I'm actually glad I did that.
This is interesting. Intro. Ooh,
You just keep holding right. You'll make it. Don't panic. That's what they want you to do.
No, Daddy, no.
Okay, hold on. He's not a victim of domestic abuse.
Oh my God.
Hey, you notice that I stutter every once in a while when I get to stairs, because there are some times where you know, to start traveling on stairs, you have to hold up on the D-pad, and that gets a little awkward when they're in pretty tight spots.
Yeah.
Sometimes Simon will act like the stairs aren't there, and you'll just walk off the edge.
Walk off the earth.
Yeah, at the ends of the earth.
That's actually a band. That's a really good band.
Here we go, boss time. We got triple shot axe. There should be no sweat.
Ooh.
By the way, the screen the screen flashes white every time you hit this guy. That's not fucking disorienting at all.
I was say, so any of you prone to seizures.
Like, you might want to not full screen the video if you're doing that right now.
Oh man.
Jesus Christ.
That's awful.
Yeah, fucking out my eyes.
Mud man.
Die, motherfucker.
It's like Redox from the. That's what the hell.
That's it. Apparently, that was so humorous to the developers that they left that bit in the official Super Castlevania 4 soundtrack. Like, you can hear the sound effect of the rock golem getting bigger, and then it's like.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Move the controller down, and I crouch. When I'm crouching, you can make me do the duck walk. Cool, huh?